Hello, welcome back to my Lady Boss YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about the power of action and how to really turn your massive action into results. So throughout this video, you're actually going to know the difference if you're an action taker or an action faker. So in all reality, taking action does come with your mindset. So for me, for example, I am a person who just knows how to get stuff done. Like when I set my mind to something, I will go and do anything that it takes to get there. I know my end result, I know what I want in life, and I know at the end of the day that I have to endure a process in order to get there. I'm not somebody who just wants things handed to me or that I'm trying to take the easy way out. I know that it takes hard work and action to do anything and to get anywhere successful in life and to get those results. So before we do get started, I did forget to mention something. The way that I'm going to set up this video is I'm going to present the mindset problems first and then present the solutions. So problem number one on why you have not taken massive action yet to get results is because you haven't dealt with your fears. So take a moment to really think about this, because a lot of us, sometimes we fear too much in a way that we think that we're gonna get judged by other people. Or maybe another fear is that you feel like you have to hit perfection before you start anything. So you do way too much research, or you're just researching and researching and researching and not actually being productive and taking that next step. Or it can even come down to the fact that you don't even think you're knowledgeable yet, or you don't have those skill sets yet in order to be productive. So no matter what it is that those fears that you do have, that's kind of something to really think about, to really try to figure it out. Because if you don't take action and you don't show up for yourself, that's only going to self-sabotage you. Now here's the solution. So pretty much all you have to do is stop for a minute, take a second to think about it, and deal with your issues head on. It's kind of somewhat similar to kind of being like a detective of your fears and trying to figure it out. This may take some time, but you really have to confront yourself and you have to really try to dig deep on why there's so many fears preventing you from taking massive action. Because once you realize and actually pinpoint what they really are, that's a good turning point for you. That's where you know what it is now, and then that's something for you to know to work on, and then you can go ahead and move on and move past that. Problem number two of why you have not yet taken massive action to get results is because you have that mindset of thinking that it's too hard or too much work. So what happens many times is that when people think that they need or they want to do something, they realize that their mind just goes directly to thinking that it's way too hard to accomplish. And so for example, maybe you think that it's too hard to be consistent at the gym because you're not fully motivated yet, or building your own business and gaining your own clients is way too hard and it'll take too long for you to do. Or the other thing too is that maybe you think networking or connecting with other people out there is too scary or too hard for you to do because you're uncomfortable in those types of environments. So with all of these things of you thinking that it's too hard or too much work, that's where you just have to get a different mindset shift. So here's the solution I have for you. So there's a question that I do want to pose to you to see if this is something that you can ask yourself in order to kind of reevaluate. So ask yourself, is what I'm doing today on a daily basis something that I enjoy doing? Oh my gosh, you guys, I have no idea what happened. When I went to go edit this video, I realized that I no longer have the second portion of this topic recorded. I think my camera may have stopped recording and I didn't notice it. So I'm going to be doing a voiceover for the solution portion. So what I had previously said is that ask yourself this question: is what you're doing on a day-to-day basis something that you even like to do? And if you do decide to really think about that, and if the answer is no, then maybe you're trying to force yourself to do something that you're not mentally wired to be passionate about. And a lot of times too, we can get misconstrued by the idea of being rich or the easy way to get rich, that we don't necessarily always want to do the hard work to get there. And that is why it's very crucial, once you figure out why something that didn't trigger your brain to initially say, this is too much work or it's too hard, that is when you've actually realized you've found something you're driven about and passionate by. My last and final tip is that the problem that a lot of people do have is that they think that they need motivation in order to take massive action. So it's crazy to actually really think that a lot of people actually really bought into the fact that you need motivation in order to make some progress. So sorry to break it to you, but motivation is actually very unreliable, and it's also more on the short-term basis. So if you do want to check it out, I actually did talk about this in one of my other videos where it's not about motivation, it's all about self-discipline and consistency. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and link it up above so you guys can go ahead and maybe watch that video afterwards. But it goes into a lot of detail on how motivation is unreliable and that it's more for the short term and not for your long-term gain. So now here is my solution. So in order to get yourself away from having that mindset of thinking motivation is the end-all be-all, you actually have to go with something called habitual discipline, which pretty much is something that you really want to do or that you enjoy to do, or the fact is that you know that you have to do this thing or these steps or this process because you know what it's going to take in order to see that result. Alright you guys, I'm going to close out this video. I really hope that you thought my 3 perspective shifts on how to take massive action in order to get results was helpful to you. I know this video was kind of short. I only gave 3 tips, but hopefully you do see some value in this, and I hope that you decide to switch that mindset of yours to kind of get yourself in a different mental state in order to take action, because everybody who takes action will always get the results as long as you work hard, you're persistent with it, and you have a positive attitude while doing it. So thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it so much, and I will see you all in my next week's video. Thanks so much. Bye guys.